Welcome to the Healing Room. We thank each and every one of you for taking time out to come in and experience your healing. We are eternally grateful to the Most High for what He's doing. In the Healing Room, it is not mandatory nor necessary for you to um, turn on cameras, but we thank Him. Exploring or revisiting your trauma experience. When you decide to explore or revisit your trauma, you're embarking on a courageous journey of your innermost being. I know how trauma can be. It can also be exhilarating and empowering to be healed from the devastating effects of trauma. The choice to take this healing journey will be a positive and life changing experience. Yes. And for me, as the healing room had begun, I find myself personally being able to go through a lot of healing mechanism of traumas that I didn't realize were in my life. So I can attest to allowing ourselves to go through a healing process. Today's healing trauma is healing from the trauma of divorce. Healing from the trauma of divorce. So at this time, I would encourage you to make sure you're in a position or in a quiet space that you can meditate for 5 minutes. We're going to have our first process is a 5-minute meditation. I also would encourage you to have a pen and a piece of paper to do some journaling or writing down as we go through the process of identifying the trauma of divorce. So at this time, we're going to take a 5-minute meditation. What do we do with meditation? Meditation is where we breathe in through our nose to the count of 4, hold it for the count of 4, and release to the count of 4. What does this do? This allows us to settle ourselves, to center ourselves, to be able to revisit our trauma. So in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, release, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in through the nose, 2, 3, 4. Hold it, 2, 3, 4, and release, 2, 3, 4. Let's continue to practice the breathing in through the nose. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4. One more minute. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3. Excellent. Let's do that one more time. Breathe in through the nose. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. Let it all out. Excellent. Now, our next step is identifying things that may have occurred during the trauma of divorce. And the first thing we identify is rejection. When we experience the trauma of divorce, one of the things we experience is rejection. And we take that rejection personally. If they rejected us, what was wrong with me? Why did it didn't work out? These are the things that rejection would make us question. So we identify rejection when we experience the trauma of divorce. Release that rejection, that spirit of rejection, that feeling of rejection. We're releasing it, no longer attached to us. The next thing that attaches itself to us or try to attach itself to us when we experience the trauma of divorce is abandonment. Abandonment. We feel abandoned, cast aside, thrown away. That comes right there with that same rejection there again. We feel that abandonment, that we were abandoned, left alone, left to survive and refocus our life, regather our life. Now going from being married for how many years to now being single and trying to figure out how do we now live life or readjust our lives to being single. That's that feeling of abandonment, that they've abandoned me. They've abandoned me. That's that feeling of abandonment. We are now releasing it. It is no longer attached to us. It's no longer associated with us. Yes, abandonment. The next thing We may identify when healing from the trauma of divorce is depression. We go through the highs and lows of depression, isolating ourselves, not taking care of ourselves, not loving on ourselves the way we used to, not having that joy and that happiness and that laughter like we used to when we experience the trauma of divorce. That spirit, that depression tries to grab a hold of us and make us not socialize and go out. And even sometimes when we do, we could be in the midst of a crowd and that depression, that the abandonment, that rejection surface itself like look at you in the midst of this crowd, you divorced now, everybody else is married and happy and all those different things. So yes, that feeling of depression will try to come. The next thing we're going to identify is anxiety. The anxiety attacks, unable to sleep, unable to eat properly. Yes, anxiety tries to attach itself to us when we suffer from that trauma of divorce, that spirit of anxiety, that feeling of anxiety, can't sleep, the acid reflux, and all the other ailments that occurs because we're not eating properly and we're not taking care of ourselves. That anxiety. The last thing that we are going to identify in this session is self-esteem issues. Yes, when we have that trauma of divorce, we now deal with self-esteem issues. Am I too big? Am I too small? Am I bright enough? Am I dark enough? Um, how my dress, my hair, my you understand all these self-esteem issues comes up because you're wondering why did they leave? Why did they abandon you? Why did they reject you? Why your marriage didn't work and it ended up in divorce. So you deal with that self-esteem issues. Yes. And so we have to do what? Release. Release that self-esteem issues. We are no longer suffering from low self-esteem. We are being healed. We are on our healing journey. Yes, that is where we are at. We are being healed and set free from the stigma of being divorced. Yeah, so now our next step is a time of release. A time of release. You're just releasing all of that, the rejection, the abandonment, the depression, the anxiety, the self-esteem issues. We're releasing all of it. Sometimes we do not realize that these things goes with us in our next relationship. So yes, we need to release, let it go. Whether it's by tearing up the paper that you have written it all on, whether it's just verbally saying, I release myself from feeling rejected, I release myself from um, feeling abandoned. I release myself from depression. I release myself from anxiety, and I release myself from having low self esteem, looking for affirmation in everybody else except for myself or from myself. Now, the next step we're going to go into is called a cleansing, a house cleaning, or cleaning of the house. And the cleaning of the house is us, our mind, our bodies, our thoughts, cleaning of the house. And so I'm going to read through something in your hearing, and I'm going to read it twice. So I'm going to read through it the first time, And then I'm going to read through it a second time, and you can just come into agreement with this house cleaning process. I take charge over my life and emotions. I denounce the spirit of rejection, anxiety, low self esteem, abandonment, depression, hate, anger, bitterness, frustration, and self sabotage. I no longer allow the trauma of divorce and the stigma of it to carry, to hurt me as or to shut me down from advancing and fulfilling my purpose. I no longer allow procrastination to be my reason for not moving forward because of what people may say. Divorce is not my portion. It was a chapter and a learning experience. I take back my joy, peace, love, passion, and divine purpose. I am all that the I am say that I am. One more time. I take charge over my life and emotions. I denounce the spirit of rejection, anxiety, low self esteem, abandonment, depression, hate, anger, bitterness, frustration, and self sabotage. I no longer allow the trauma of divorce and the stigma it carries to hurt me or shut me down from advancing and fulfilling my purpose. I no longer allow procrastination to be my reason for not moving forward because of what people may say. Divorce is not my portion. It was a chapter and a learning experience. I take back my joy, peace, love, passion, and divine purpose. I am all that the I am say that I am. Yes, we are all that the I am say that we are. So we take back our lives. We are no longer stigmatized or tied to divorce and what stigma it may bring. We release ourselves, we free ourselves, we cleanse our house, our minds, our emotions, our bodies from that. Now we're going to go into a time of affirmation. And the affirmations I have is the I am affirmations. And I will repeat each one of the affirmations 3 times. I will repeat each one of the affirmations 3 times. I am healed. I am healed. I am healed. I am free from my trauma. I am free from my trauma. I am free from my trauma. I am not what I have been through. I am not what I have been through. I am not what I have been through. I am moving forward. I am moving forward. I am moving forward. I am emotionally stable. I am emotionally stable. I am emotionally stable. I am mentally stable. I am mentally stable. I am mentally stable. I am an overcomer. I am an overcomer. I am an overcomer. I am victorious. I am victorious. I am victorious. I am walking in forgiveness. I am walking in forgiveness. I am walking in forgiveness. I am loving myself in a new way. I am loving myself in a new way. I am loving myself in a new way. I am fearfully made. I am fearfully made. I am fearfully made. I am unique. I am unique. I am unique. I am the change that I need. I am the change that I need. I am the change that I need. And as you continue in your healing journey, I would encourage you to create an affirmation list for yourself and add to it daily. Look in the mirror at yourself and say to yourself, you know, who you are. Affirm to yourself who you are, the purpose that you were here for, the power that you walk in. Yes, the I am affirmations are very powerful. And that's why I even said, I am who the I am say that I am. Yes. And yes, we are thankful as we now come. And I want to just give you a word of encouragement. And my word of encouragement to you is be gentle with yourself. Be gentle with yourself. Healing is a process and a journey. Wow. Yeah, I'm going to say that one more time again. Be gentle with yourself. Healing is a process and a journey. And why do I say that? Because sometimes we, one relationship has come to an end, a marriage has come to an end, and we feel fine and dandy, and we move into another relationship, not realizing that there were some things from that divorce that had attached itself to you that you've carried over into your other relationship, and you then beat up yourself and condemn yourself. But you have to understand, you have to be gentle with yourself and know that your healing is a process and a journey. Yes. And so, even with that, be gentle with reconnecting with your trauma. Take your time and allow each step to process and to bring you closer to the unity and the wholeness that you need in this healing journey. Because it's not a sprint, it's not, it's a marathon. And so I just encourage you to be gentle with yourself. And so as we close out from this healing room, my closing remarks to you would be, just know, just take time, just Be patient with yourself. But most importantly, as you go through this restoration process, you know, it's a process. That's what the word says. It's a process. And so you'll find yourself sometimes crying. You'll find yourself sometimes wondering why. And you try to find yourself sometimes wondering, what if you didn't get divorced? Where would y'all be? How many years you would have been together? And all these other things, these mind battles that will play inside your head. Go through the process. But at the same time, don't stay there. And so, as I close out, I want to say this to you: lovingly release anything, lovingly release anything that no longer serves you or your highest goal or your highest purpose. So let me put it like this. Let me personalize it. Let me put it from I lovingly release anything that no longer serves me or my highest good or my highest goal. I lovingly release anything that no longer serves me or my highest goal. And that's what we have to do. I would encourage you to keep a blank piece of paper and pen close by, because things may come up, pop up. Even if you just buy yourself a small book to put into your purse or on your nightstand, or you understand me. So when things come up, you can write it down so you can release it. That that will help you in your healing journey. So I give thanks to each and every one of you for coming into this healing room, and I pray that your healing journey and your healing process will bring you the greatest release and the greatest joy that you need at this time and at this juncture of your life.